talk about this shit too much not to engage with each other, right? So this is what I want to do, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're gonna recap this, me and you, Levi, like we did. Sir. We're gonna recap this for an hour, right?
Yes, sir.
All of us trying to get an understanding.
Every person or every female that I've heard so far, just about,
we're gonna come back.
Like the woman that was just now talking, she sounded real passionate. But every female so far, they tell a story about a situation when they almost was either molested by an adult male or either they were molested by an adult male, either one. And she just clearly said she was in the car and her aunt came out and got her up out of that car. So what Brooke Valentine just, the statement Brooke Valentine said, I think it's true. Most women, and even women that I've spoke to in person, they have a story that they was molested with, and they say, well, R. Kelly did it. I asked this one person, what do you think of the Gayle King interview? And the first thing she said out of her mouth was, now this is a person that's been molested. I think he did it. He sounded guilty. But how can you sound guilty? It didn't sound like he was guilty to me. I mean, it's like, come the fuck on. We have to get to a point where everything that we're doing here is gossip. That's basically what this is. It's gossip, it's accusations, it's speculations. And a lot of people that I'm hearing, it's actually, they're coming from a point of hatred. They're coming from a place of hatred to me, because there is no reason why they should be talking this way about R. Kelly if you have not personally seen R. Kelly in action with a minor. If you have not personally seen him in action with a minor, then you should not be talking about him in that way. Now, you can have your opinion. You can think that he may have done it because you're reading some documents and some motions and some indictments and all this and all that. So you think because the feds say it, then that makes it true. Somebody just now left me a comment and said the feds got this, they got that, and they got a 97% conviction rate. Well, the 97% conviction rate, as we all know, most of that is from plea agreements. Most of that is from stacking the deck. And that's exactly what they're doing with R. Kelly. They're stacking the deck. Think about it. Just think about it. They're stacking the deck. I mean, some of these charges, man, are just ridiculous. Some of these charges are ridiculous, man. And y'all know it. And like I said, Azriel Clary is a prime example. They couldn't charge her. Well, they couldn't charge him on her behalf in Illinois because she's 17, right? She was 17 when he met her, right? Even though I don't think that she was 17 when she started becoming involved with R. Kelly romantically. But, all that will come out in the trial. However, they couldn't make that charge in Illinois. Why is that? They had to do it in New York. They had to do it in New York. Now, R. Kelly hasn't lived in New York. He don't live in New York. So why wouldn't she be on the Chicago indictments? Why wouldn't she be on the Chicago indictments? Because she can't be. That's why. So they playing these little games. And just because the feds say they got this and they got that and they got this and they got that, that does not mean that they have it. That does not mean that they have it until they present that in the courts. You cannot sit here and say that, oh, the feds have this and they have that and they got 100 devices with child pornography on it. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. They still haven't presented the fucking discovery, man. They're not presenting all the discovery, and there's a reason why. There's a reason why. They don't have a case. They don't have a case, in my opinion. And that's why they're preventing this man from being out on bail. They're preventing this man from being out on bail because they don't have a fucking case. And they just want to hold him in there. He's doing his time now. This is my opinion. Doesn't make it true. But I feel like they have him doing his time now. And eventually, once this trial gets underway, hopefully he'll be out before then. But if he's not, he'll have time served or whatever they want to do. Because They're not going to beat him. This case is not going to go nowhere. They don't have no evidence, man. They don't have no evidence. They won't allow the man to fight his case fairly. Like Levi say, they keep tying his hand behind his back. You know, man, they've been doing dirty shit since January of 2019. And for real, they've been doing, like I said, they've been doing dirty shit before then. And that's just the bottom line to it. So people, we have to get our emotions out of this. We have to get our emotions out of this. Just because somebody may have been sexually molested, or you might know somebody that's been sexually molested or whatever, that does not mean that R. Kelly did what they're saying he did. Just because these women came on a biased docuseries, okay, a biased docuseries, that does not mean that R. Kelly is guilty. Now, let me ask you this. Let's go back to Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil did not bring them women, them same women that got all this shit started on Surviving R. Kelly. He did not air those interviews because he said, Dr. Phil, a very respected doctor, very credible, he said he cannot find the truth, which means he cannot find the truth. And you know, Dr. Phil, they be doing lie detector tests and all types of shit. So that speaks volumes to me. That speaks volumes to me. And I'm tired of people coming on here and they're sitting here, they trying to act like, oh, we're going to agree to disagree. But really, in actual reality, man, they're not doing that. Since I've been watching this shit, they keep getting loud. They keep being, upset because one person is saying one thing. They're cutting people off. They're making noises in the background while people are trying to talk. Like, come the fuck on, man. You know, people are being muted in the chat as soon as they don't say what you don't like. And it's really ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And for real, I don't see no difference in the fake R. Kelly supporters, and we all know who they are. There's no difference between them and the team that are out in the open against R. Kelly. I don't see no difference here. You know, actually I do. The one difference is this. The fake R. Kelly supporters, they gotta be the worst type of human being. When you sit there and Malcolm X once said, I have much more respect for a man who tells me where he stands from the jump. And, don't quote me on that, but he said something like that. He said he has much more respect for a man that tells me where he stands from the jump more than a man who pretends that he's not a racist, but is nothing more than a devil. And it's the same situation in this case here. We got people that have infiltrated this shit, acting like they for R. Kelly when we know they're not. But then you got these people here who have been against R. Kelly from day one, but none of them tell me nothing about, they can't tell me no story of them seeing R. Kelly molesting no minor. They can't do it. They can't tell me not one story of R. Kelly molesting a minor that they seen. It's hearsay. It's hearsay. That's all it is. It's hearsay. It's accusations. For crying out loud, Kim Fox came on national TV and solicited accusers to charge this man. That right there is a violation of this man's fucking rights. There was no motherfucking cases on him. There was no police filings, no charges against him, none of that shit. She herself, Kim Fox herself, is another prime example. She said she was a victim of sexual assault. So you see, these women in the Me Too movement were a victim of sexual assault. So they're taking it out on R. Kelly. But R. Kelly has never sexually assaulted them. He hasn't sexually assaulted them. This woman that just now was on the on the grown man's panel, he didn't have you in the truck. You weren't in R. Kelly's truck. So why are you so mad at R. Kelly? Let the man have his day in court. And let's get our emotions out of this. And let's start really focusing on the whole point that these feds are playing dirty. The alphabet boys, like one man said. Yeah, they say that in my hood too, brother. Whoever you are. They say that in my hood too. Let's not get it twisted. And I have seen, I've never seen the tape per se. I've seen clips of it. And like I said, it looks like it was chopped to me. It looks like a chopped tape. And what people don't understand is in the 2008 case, it wasn't just the fact that the girl and the parents said that it wasn't her on the tape. They couldn't determine if it was R. Kelly 100% on the tape as well. And I think we all are trying to disregard that. The fact that the mole was not there on the tape that he has on his back. But ain't nobody saying nothing about that, right? Everybody's forgetting about that, right? That's because you all have been through something personally in your life and you're taking it out on R. Kelly, one of the greatest minds in music history. And it's a shame. Let that man have his day in court. If he's found guilty, then he's found guilty. He needs to deal with the consequences. But until then, we need to stop condemning people. Let's stop condemning people just because the feds say we have this and have that, but the feds aren't showing shit. You sounded crazy talking about the feds ain't gonna show their whole hand. They have to give their evidence to the defense. They have to give their evidence to the defense. Nobody's saying they have to show us their evidence, but they gotta give it to his defense. So let's not play games here. Let's not play games here.